right, folks. Yes, it is Eric Campbell. I'm in here with tips for inspired embroidery. If you don't know, this is what I talk about all the time. And frankly, I've been seeing more and more people jumping on the bandwagon, understanding that we have these retail style looks, just like we heard Carlo talking about on the episode. We have all these crazy things that people are doing. They're fantastic to provide more value and have a higher value item. But here's some of the things we can do to really make that work for ourselves. Number one, do retail research. I know we joke around about this, and it's something you hear from a good friend of the show, Jay Bassell. I always like to tell his little story where she calls it R&D, and he says it's rip off and duplicate. I try and be a little nicer, put the quotes on and say retail research. Go look at retail clothing brands, but look at more than that. Look at home decor embroidery, fashion embroidery, and latest trends in decoration and the ways they use materials. Some treatments are not going to be compatible with commercial practices, but you can take cues from the design elements, the color usage, textures, placements, and even packaging and promotion that can inspire your digitizing embroidery and your presentation. So really look at how things are put together from all manner of sources, even beyond the world of commercial embroidery where you're comfortable. Second, keep an eye on crafters and artists. Though they may put in more labor or use materials uncommon to our commercial production, it's amazing what these dedicated amateurs are doing. They're often more experimental in their embroidery than we can really afford to be generally in our commercial world. However, lots of the things we can do if we look at efficient ways to get similar looks. The inspiration is still there, even if our processes have to change. It's really worthwhile to dip into the social media streams, see what crafters, and then also fiber artists, people who are using these things for expression, for art of all kinds, are creating. And frankly, this goes beyond the current social media stuff. Go check out all manner of fiber arts. I know one of the places I usually stop when I am out traveling is in museums. You'll find me in the often kind of disabused and alone in the fiber arts areas, in the material areas, looking at how thread is used to make marks. Check out other sources of inspiration. Next, of course, make use of multimedia. You know, embroidery is awesome, but we can increase visual impact through the use of print. Applied elements like, hey, rhinestones, the new kinds of dimensional molded applique styles, all of the incredible range of heat press stuff, the leather patches, the stuff that is all out there and available now, it just keeps increasing every day. And with the rise of digital print and DTF, as it continues to rise and build up steam, that means we've got all of these people providing transfers and other options we can combine with embroidery, including other sorts of surface treatment. So though we all love the shine and the texture of the stitch, don't forget the draw of applique, photographic sublimation, hot fix pieces, molded pieces, PVC patches, leather, all the different things that we can use. And you'd be surprised sometimes how little it takes, as little as one cycle on a heat press, to add something really impressive to your existing pieces. And the next part is all about implementing your inspiration. We want to create without copying, so I have a quick tip for you on that. We need to remix and mash up. So once we've got all this inspiration together, when we want to make something new, take those notes and the pictures you put together from your research and mash them up. If you're someone like who was on the show earlier in comment form, Jeremy Picker, you're a Pinterest person. You've got a lot of comments and boards put together. That's a fantastic way to do it these days. Otherwise, you know, bookmarks, keep stuff together. Wherever you get those inspirations, start looking at them, but cherry pick from 3 or 4 sources that are in a cloud of areas you might want to express, and say one element from each and mash that up, remix the thing. Take the texture from some thick thread that you saw on a pillow in a home decor shop, the colors from a recent advertisement that you thought were interesting, design placement from something on some streetwear that you just saw, as you're doing your retail research, and then the art from your customer, and say, how can I put these together into something entirely new? Remixing, mashing up, and combining things, or taking an individual element from some of these inspirations and applying them to new design, new art, keeps you from being a knockoff artist and ending up like that poor shop in the UK. Try and learn from things, but you have to remix, you have to mash up. And the other thing I'll tell you too, when you get a great idea and you feel like it's too close to something else, sleep on it. Wait a day, sleep on it, come back to it again, and then look at those inspirational sources and say, what can I do to change it? And last but not least, the thing you must do if you want inspired, better embroidery, you need to experiment. Make time to play and produce samples. Test new settings, test new materials, and do these mashups regularly. Make use of customer art and send off samples, or create self-driven, self-motivated projects you can use as display pieces for your shop. Customers buy what they can see. I always like to lean in and whisper and go, we don't have any customers here, do we? Okay, now there's no customers here. Customers don't know what they want. 85% of them don't have any vision. And if you don't show it to them, they don't know it exists. You're the expert, you're the consultant. Tell them what they need and show them. They don't know till they see it from you. Just make sure you focus displays and the social sharing you do on work that's not only interesting and engaging, but you can find a way to price for profit. And you might have to go to Aaron's class to figure that one out. And that is my secret sauce.